Alright. You've successfully
talk this dipshit to start
convinced him into thinking he's a big deal. It doesn't take much. He puffs up like a bird and then starts steering this thing off towards the edges of known space.
Are we still on fire?
No, the fiery bit has fallen and crashed into the asteroid.
Okay. Because going into the Phlogiston while still on fire.
Yeah. He does think of that when you're about 8 minutes outside of the Phlogiston and goes back into the back of the cabin with a fire extinguisher. When he realizes that the back cabin is just an empty gaping hole into space, he's like, it's probably fine. Puts it back.
That's good.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then he
fantastic view.
He says, alright, buckle your seatbelts, and you realize there's only 2 chairs in here.
I'll stand.
Dibs. I'm in one. Because I'm the co-pilot.
You're gonna try and sit in the co-pilot seat on top of Henry's lap?
Is there a crow's nest?
There's not. This thing is sort of wide, like a
Winnebago.
Term for a moon. No, not Winnebago. Moon shape, crescent moon, like a crescent moon. Except one chunk of the crescent moon has fallen off because it was on fire. So now it's a crescent sort of moon.
The saddest DreamWorks logo you've ever seen.
Like the bottom 10th of it cracked and fell off.
I'll find something I can hang on to, like those things you hang on to on the train.
He has a couple of leather straps that look like they might have been used for like people who were gonna like paratroop out the back. He's got those. There's no door to open, but he's got them up because he thinks they look cool.
Well, so do I.
So you hold on one of those, wind blowing your gi around, but there's actually nothing to jump out of. It's actually the furthest point from any given window.
Cool. So I'm also safe.
Yeah, it's
badass and safe.
Yep.
Safety is badass.
Spelljammer! Jesus Christ. Alright, and you get closer and closer to the edges of known space. And he punches a few buttons on his terminal, and you realize his terminal must actually be pretty high-tech, because it appears to have a permanent detect portals spell cast on it. He punches some buttons, and you can actually see the edges of known space. It's literally an edge. It's a hard surface of black ceramic. He's approaching at an incredibly high rate of speed. And just before impact, zoop, portal opens up. It goes right through and the portal closes. And you find yourself in the rainbow-hued nightmare zone known as the Phlogiston. But at this point, he turns off the settings of his control desk here because you cannot steer in the Phlogiston. It takes you where you're going to go. So he does that, and he pushes a button, and you realize it's basically a safety for his features, and then he puts his feet up on the desk, and reclines back in the captain chair. Best captain that ever lived.
Sure.
I like to call it Karok's Diamond, after our partnership.
Of course.
Todd's looking out a window like, do you ever just feel like small? Just like really insignificant, man.
And Karok looks to you and goes, no, I'm the greatest pilot that ever lived. In all of known space.
I have to agree with Karok, I'm pretty cool.
Todd's having an existential crisis at the age of 204.
I put my hands on my hips and look down at the floor and say, no, I don't feel particularly small.
That was a dick joke.
See that, my dude?
Well played. The trip through the Phlogiston lasts more than one day. It lasts 2 days.
Technically the truth.
That wasn't a joke I wrote in. That's a joke.
The dice
requirements of Spelljammer.
I'm gonna, while he's doing that, I'm gonna spin him like all these tales about how his name is so famous. About the women just love you in the future. You're just
like halfway through.
And then I just start
he's
rattling.
a quartz warehouse guy. I remember.
I just start rattling off places where like the women just love him and the best places for him to go.
All right, give me that roll. Roll a beautiful beam footage.
I didn't really hear you, but I'm assuming this is what you said.
That's what I said.
That's a 17.
Thanks, man.
There's a brothel named after
him.
Nice.
Yeah, you're puffing him up, and like it's not hard to puff him up. Actually, you should have rolled with advantage because it's really easy to puff him up. But the convincing is enormous.
Tie. 7. Still tie.
The dice have spoken, and the dice have said that it's
The
not
dice
hard
will be
to
greasy if I
inflate
don't-
his ego. This is a man who has a very high opinion of himself, and you can tell a very low intelligence. Yours is real low. His is lower.
So he's a pilot and he's lower. Wow.
He's like a
It's like a New York City cab driver.
He's a pilot of a garbage scow.
mechanically. He's got an intelligence of 6 and a wisdom of 8.
Whew. Oh lord. Oh lordy.
But he's got a real high opinion of himself, and his charisma's banging.
I like
He's actually kind of likable in a stupid way. He's more endearing than anything else.
Oh.
And he continues to float it through this river of incandescent, fluorescent, rainbow-hued gas. Highly flammable, dangerous, and infested with ghosts. And you find that's true very quickly, because ghosts, while incorporeal, phase through your ship and then phase out the other side. And this is a constant threat while the flow's just done. As you're floating through, just individual ghosts trying to accomplish the haunting. Can't do so because they can't find purchase. They just go right through your ship as you're traveling through them. And you leave them behind in your wake, only to be replaced with other ghosts. It's a harrowing affair, and one that makes it very difficult to sleep because when they pass through your body, your very corporeal, delicious body,
You ain't just whistling Dixie.
you get this intense, freezing feeling as they pass through you. So, no matter how many blankets you use, you are trying to sleep as these things are constantly phasing through your body and freezing the hell out of you.
Nature Boy's having a hard time over here.
What that means is that you don't suffer exhaustion, but you don't gain the benefits of a long rest. You may short rest if you wish.
I do wish.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It did take damage. I forgot about that.
I think only 2 of you give a shit about that.
Yeah. I don't have any. I didn't burn any spell slots yet, so.
Elf bros before elf hoes.
The thing you said, I don't like it.
Yo, elves before selves.
No, self before elf.
Alright, fine.
Way self before elf, my dude.
Self-care is important.
I just really believe in putting myself before everyone else, just because I deserve it.
You're a selfish druid.
Yeah, tons of cock.
Elfish.
Elfish.
That's
Alright.
what a noble
Elf-centered.
background will do to you.
Elf absorbed.
I like that one.
Get out.
It is on the morning of day 2 when you start to see a difference in the flow of ghosts and the flow just done. As ghosts stop phasing through your ship.
Get out of my ship and into my car.
Alright, you're struck by a meteor.
Just you.
But the ghost flow stops. And you're now inside of this ship. And Kerouac at this point is still asleep. He is airing out all of his glory as he sits, legs spread on the captain's chair, feet up on the desk.
Hey. Only one of us can do that.
He might be copying off you, you're not sure.
The man spreading is real.
Literally Thor and Peter.
And he's just airing it all out. And he's got the hat pulled low over his eyes, and he's got his feet up. He's actually learned something, you notice. His feet are on opposite sides of the steering column, such that if it wobbles or tilts left or right, his legs will naturally correct it. He's learned something.
Right on.
Giving idiots hope everywhere.
You wake up in the morning feeling not refreshed, but less tired anyway, and you realize that you have not seen a ghost in probably over an hour, which is the longest time you haven't seen a ghost in the last 24 hours.
There's anybody notice the absence of our spectral friend slightly?
I don't see.
Got any idea what's going on about that?
I believe we are close to our destination. And with that, I go over to the captain's room, board, ship.
Yep.
I grab his hat and I
So when you
Back
go
with
to reach
it.
for the hat, but before you get all the way there, there is the ghost of a fish The fish is probably 6 or 8 feet long. It's sized like a shark, but it looks more like a barracuda in design.
Barracuda.
I dropped the ball.
Oh, yeah, you did. Because now it's in my head.
But this fish, it's a ghost fish, and at this point you've gotten these, they're incorporeal.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, it clearly recognizes you as other ghosts maybe have or have not. Snaps its teeth and just floats right past you. In between you and the captain.
#rude.
Perhaps he thinks you are bait.
Do I look like bait?
Absolutely.
At this
You're
point
a
you see another
snack.
fish go over your shoulder.
Do I recognize what kind of fish these might be?
Give me a...
Fish check.
Nature or astronomy, whichever side.
Nature or astronomy?
There's no nature.
You destroyed nature.
Yeah, you
Oh, I
eliminated
bumped it.
nature.
Survival.
What did you do to nature, man?
Survival or astronomy, whichever
you
side.
literally shoot nature in a campaign with
8.
a druid in the party.
Yeah,
Me
well,
trying to look for druid deficiencies being
8.
oh, that's gone.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
that's gone.
Fuck,
That's gone.
no, in fact, you see that this is a strange-looking creature. Maybe on home planets you've seen something similar to this. But this is an enormous creature, an example of a very large fish. Clearly carnivorous with pointed teeth throughout its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one clearly snapped. It saw you. It viewed your body, snapped at you, and threw the back of the ship. This other one goes right over your shoulder, and it's not so much that you're panicked. You're level 12, you're a stone cold killer at this point, but like, it's still something you react to, and then you jump. And it's the sort of thing where if other adventuring colleagues of yours saw this, you'd be a little embarrassed. But it gets you just riled up just enough to like look your head back, take a look at it, and it's gone.
Your bolt shrinks just a little bit.
Like a frightened turtle. It withdraws under your shell. At this point, another fish comes right through, goes right through the captain and emerges on the other side.
Is this thing on windows? Anything we can look out? Is there like a sea of these things up there?
There's windows.
There's a huge hole in the back.
It's illuminated by this sort of violet hue. It's rainbow light, but the most of what you're getting is sort of purplish. As it sort of ebbs and flows in front of you. Like, have you ever seen like gasoline on water?
Mm.
It does this sort of rainbow, cloudy effect. It looks like that, but everywhere.
Okay.
And it's incandescent, so you're getting light through the windows. That is this hovering shape and shade of colors.
Do we see more fishes out there, or is it?
Beyond the
Hard
ship, you
to
don't really
see.
see much of anything. Just this gathering of colored gas. And occasionally, as you're watching, you see fish like emerge from the panel and go right past you.
We should just get there as soon as we can. Get out of this thing.
You get a nature or a nature.
Hey, nature? No, you can't.
No, I
No, you
can't.
cannot.
A survival check from the party, please.
How is that? What the fuck?
That is a 23 for me. That was
18.
18.
Wow. All right.
4.
Jackson, you're probably mesmerized by looking at the back of the ship.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is actually beautiful. There's this gaping hole. It's probably 12 feet wide. With nothing but this beautiful incandescent gas behind you. There is, at this point, it is suffusing the hull. But in this small, cramped space where you're looking at your friends, you can actually see them clearly. It's not in the way. It's hazy in the way that, like, when you oversear a steak and you get a little smoke in the kitchen. That sort of obstruction. Like, you can still clearly see everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try to focus real hard on, like, reading from a distance, it'd be hard. The three of you are noticing a trend. As these fish go fluttering through your craft, they are fleeing from a greater predator.
Oh.
No!
Hey, maybe it's just another ghost. It's nothing. I don't know what the accent that was. I just threw it up.
Nah, man. Like, I know my nature. Big things eat smaller things. This is not great.
But they're ghosts. What another ghost gonna eat this little ghost? It's not gonna care about us.
And Todd, you also recognize the type of fish. It's called a scabber. A scabber is a large, man-sized or larger fish,
Okay.
and it literally eats what's left over when Spelljammer ships crash.
Oh, yum. I'm into that. And by I'm into that, I mean I'm not into that. Hey guys, just fun fact, I know something. We might want to get out of here, cause like these things eat the thing that we're looking for, or that we're in, or whatever. And I'm not into being a sea snack today, so we may want to just be on the lookout for something larger that's gonna try to kill us.
Henri has the highest passive perception, I believe.
Yes.
19, right?
19, yep.
You see on the quote-unquote horizon something that catches your eye. It's a glowing shape in the distance. Now, previously, as I mentioned, the gas has been so dense and so bright, it's been hard to see any individual shapes in the phlogiston. You see a shape now, and it's almost like star, like we think like a symbol of a star, not like an actual star. Star shape in the distance. It's incandescent blue. And it is rapidly approaching.
Excuse me, Mr. Karok, can you maybe steer around that thing so we don't kind of crash into it?
He wakes up. Steer around what?
See that big shiny blue thing? We probably should steer around it. Can you get
blue? He goes to move the steering, and you hear something crack, and you see something blast off the back of the ship as they're traveling through the phlogiston.
I bet you that was the rudder. Is that the rudder?
No, it wasn't.
Plot twist.
Very
It was
convincing.
the rudder.
At this point now, you can all see it. It appears to be a giant star-shaped object. Sort of this incandescent ethereal blue.
Is there like a prow of the ship, like the front of the ship? Where was he punching
Yes, where I was
rocks?
punching rocks.
Yep.
Comes, we punch this thing, eh?
Yeah.
Take out my hand crossbow and I go to the front of the ship.
I take out my
Punch this thing.
hands.
It's shaped sort of like a mosquito. It's got a long proboscis at the front.
Oh, the ship is, okay.
Gnarly and bitchin'.
You have tattoos on your fingers. There's GNARLY.
It just goes down my wrist.
Big ass G.
Alright, you get out in front. We're going to call this a one-round skill challenge.
Okay.
Beginning with somebody on the prow of the ship.
I'm somebody on the prow of the ship.
Mm-hmm. This appears to be a gigantic star-shaped ghost.
Maybe we just go through it. The little flipper things didn't attack us. Maybe we just go through this.
All right.
Can I actually, so as my skill, can I actually take a good solid look at it to see if it is transparent and validate that what I've just said makes any kind of sense?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Allow it. 21.
You're watching it, and you actually see that ahead of you there is a large piece of stone, like a errant asteroid or comet that must have gone through one of the portals. And you see this thing, a proboscis, shoots out through the center of the star, grabs it, pulls it in, and crunches it apart as dust turns into glowing particles in the phlogiston.
Ooh, he thinks we can fly through this thing. This
That
thing
sounds
looks
great.
It looks
This-
like, if you can imagine...
I think I may be wrong on that one.
If you can imagine a starfish that is also a ghost that is also 600 feet tall.
No, this is Patrick.
All right, I'm going to use acrobatics. Like, we're on the very front most of the ship, but there is actually a prow that sticks out.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I'm-
3 feet wide.
Yep, and I'm just going to somersault onto the very tip of the spear
Alright.
for
Just
punching
the
this
tip.
thing. Just the very foreskin of the ship. That was a 12 on the die. That is a 21.
Alright. You roll out to the very tip of the ship, and you are now doing the Karate Kid flying
Yep.
crane.
Yes,
maneuver
I absolutely am.
At the end of the proboscis. Who's next?
I'm gonna use history to see if any of Todd's annoying prep school knowledge, if he's read this in any...
You didn't think this was a knowledge character when you rolled it, did you?
read it in like a book somewhere, maybe. Todd has a hard time like recalling. 10 plus 5, it's a 15.
Todd's actually pretty banging at this sort of crap.
Todd has, I literally have, I think it's a trait called position of privilege.
Yeah. It's the background thing where you get benefits because you're rich.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
Todd just like read a lot of books as a kid, like had a nanny, one of those things,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
like smoked a ton of weed in college, like quote unquote got enlightened, and now just is like, I'm really here to like serve a greater purpose, but cannot shed his privileged background. So Todd tries to like take a good look at it and like, you know, through the foggy haze of college tries to see if he remembers anything, reading anything about this in his astronomy class.
Yes, you do actually. This is called a starfish.
That's neat. And anything else I know about it?
You are aware of the fact that when it becomes panicked, it actually causes sparking.
Awesome. That's just great.
Yeah, that seems like something Brian should know when he gets back.
Guys.
So, Brian,
Yes.
Todd made a skill check when we were gone, a knowledge check
Hot take.
to remember what this creature was from his astronomy class
Yes.
in prep school. This is called a starfish.
Starfish.
Yes, and
All
what
right.
it does is when it's panicked,
Yeah.
it actually sparks.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yes, it is Kay's turn.
Make it panicked.
No!
No, do the other thing. Soothe it. Whisper sexy, sweet
Sing
nothings
it a
into its
song.
ear. Yeah, didn't the Goblin King sing a song?
Performance. I'm gonna pull out a lute
Whoa.
and sing it
Oh.
a song.
I'm gonna pull out my bulge and show it my dong.
I'm going to sing it a very soothing song.
It's like in Harry Potter, they're trying to get past the dog.
That is an 22.
You sing the least shitty song ever. It's the best song.
To paint the picture, you are sitting on the prow of the ship, standing, ready to go, crane style.
Well, to be fair, also when I fight, I do radiant damage. I think that sets the float stone on fire.
It might.
So this is gonna be the best battle ever.
Fire damage definitely does.
Fire? No.
But as you're getting ready and you're like getting into your key stance, you're ready to fuck this thing up,
Yeah.
you start to hear the voice of Brevos from below singing a quiet lullaby to the starfish.
I fall asleep immediately.
Do yourself like a baby and tumble through the cabin.
Roll a new character.
But no, you see this thing like this central eye, which is actually, it opens up, literally it's an eyeball. It splits open like blast doors to allow this proboscis to emerge. That eye begins to close. And this fleshy appendage is not to be seen as these walls of
This fleshy
colossal,
appendage.
walls of colossal ghost flesh. Submerge its
Why am I so
central-
turned on right now?
its central brown eye.
The awakening of Todd's King.
It's brown starfish.
And as it phases harmlessly through your vessel,
Yay!
you each feel freezingly cold.
Vive la France.
You gain a level of a starfish disease. And I need a Constitution saving throw from all of you.
Oh no.
Nope.
That is a 5.
It's 4 for me, bro.
3.
16.
All right.
Oh, is it a disease though? Is it
You're a
technically
rock star. Of
disease?
course
It
you
is.
have
I'm immune to
something.
disease.
Good. All right. You suffer no ill effects because monks are broken and stupid shit.
Yeah.
You receive -2 to initiative.
She passed that, didn't
She did.
she? Yeah. Oh.
She gets stage 1 of the disease.
Oh.
I'm over here like
My bulge
up to
itches.
2 a bunch of tubes, like,
Well, no. In fact, at stage 2, which is what both of you have,
goddamn.
-2 to initiative, vulnerable to cold damage.
Okay.
Ooh. And there's ghosts about.
So.
Yeah, I am immune to disease and poison because monks are broken.
2 days later, you emerge out of the floating staff and into another crystal sphere.
The right one?
You assume it must be because the doctor said it was a short trip.
You're going on a long journey.
You emerge into the darkened outer edge of what must be a different crystal sphere. The phlogiston ceases, and anything that was on board your ship immediately vaporizes as you enter known space to someone else. You don't know it. You're weird.
It's true.
The doctor gave you some delicate coordinates. They go through to like the 10th decimal place. They're very precise.
Those aren't delicate. Those are very precise.
Precise. But delicate. You can break them.
We did just come out of the
You mean like
starfish.
10 decimal points and not like to the 10th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's extremely precise. And as you give directions to Karak here, who continues to believe he's the greatest captain who ever lived, because obviously he made it through the phlogiston and found a new crystal sphere. No one else has ever been to the crystal sphere. He's sure.
Cool.
Totes.
He continues to vocalize the contents of his memoirs as he drives. You get closer and closer and closer and closer until you find the outline of what must be a ship on your horizon. It appears to be a ship that is shaped much like a cockroach, with this sort of crescent hood on the front and this extending back, except that it is surrounded by a halo of loose earth and stone, and there's a denser clump that looks like maybe like low turf and grass surrounding the bottom layer of it, like the basement got submerged and just took off with like a sphere worth of dirt and grass as it hovered through space. And apparently the grass is well manicured because it is still green on top.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's actually a very nice look, but it is also very clearly
It's got curb appeal.
Yeah, it is a lockdown ship though. It has got a large central square operation that is of this intensely deep brickwork. Very thick and like durable, like a bank vault. And you can see that there are doors on either end, landing pads strewn throughout, and there is a front door that is labeled conjugal visits.
Oh.
Temperance.
Not to
Oh, the
declare.
lands.
I do declare.
You said we were given very, very specific coordinates, yes?
Yep.
So this boat is the boat we're looking for.
It appears to be. The coordinates are very precise. So precise, I think he might have given you coordinates to his cell. You basically know like where exactly he was telling you to go at exactly the right time. So you're like watching the dash clock on Karak Space Vessel, which is like 4 minutes ahead.
The chronometer.
Yep. The chronometer is not helpful because he does set it several minutes ahead of time, so he knows where to be on time. So he doesn't miss.
So he's
time.
never late, yeah.
He doesn't want to miss his appointments at the doctor and dentist and stuff. He's a thoughtful guy, that Karak. But as you are sort of coasting up onto the airspace, space above this space prison ship in space,
Space.
you can see that it does have this like sphere of Earth that's carried away with it. You suspect it probably made landfall and they forgot how gravity envelopes worked and it just carried away part of the turf.
Whatever. You're in a spaceship, you don't have to
Oh,
care.
like magnet dust.
Basically, yeah, it just flew away into space with it. The ship is, like I mentioned or said, shaped like a cockroach, and you can see that it is most likely a 3-floor vessel, though the bottom floor is completely encased in earth. It appears to be more secure, maybe or maybe not by design, than kind of the whole sphere of Earth.
Right.
You also see there is an array of platforms on either side, front and back, for visiting ships, like a parking lot. And there are open spaces on both sides.
Mark.
I'm just imagining Karak trying to parallel park. It's gonna be a 30-point turn, guys.
How should we tuck our way onto this boat?
I don't know. I've
Or
never
do we
watched
just
Blade
fight
before.
our whole way?
I like your plan.
You know.
You punch rocks, I'm sure you can punch some soldiers.
I've punched both.
We trying to be sneaky?
This is what you gather that one of the floors must look like.
Yep.
Since that it. Can't see all of them for some reason. I don't know why. That is the upper level.
Ah.
There we go. This is the size and shape of the mid-level. You can see it's like 100 feet from wide end to wide end, and it is probably more like 200 feet.
From stem to stern.
Probably like 300 feet, actually, stem to stern. And you've got front and back doors. The front and back doors are here. This one, the back door, is extremely well defended with 4 separate portcullises. And the front door is actually a small elevator that comes up in between this section, and these front stairs actually go to the above and below decks.
We're trying to be sneaky about this, right?
He said that you need to go there and kill me and prevent any peace from making somebody who cast Raise Dead.
I have Pass Without Trace,
Okay.
which is a 2nd level abjuration spell, which allows a veil of shadows and silence to radiate from me, masking me and my companions from detection of everybody within a 30-foot radius.
Yes.
So if we want to be sneaky about it, I could, throw down a smoke bomb and watch us all go in. You feel good about that?
I like sneaky. What were you talking about for Dimension Door?
Well, I was thinking Dimension Door just to get in specifically to the cell, but it's a 4th level spell. I only have 3 slots, so I can't go out and come back and go out and come back and go out and come back.
Once we get there, we can go out.
Yeah.
When you sell and then be locked in, that'd be delightful.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
Leave that as our exit
Then we
strategy.
can punch a door.
That's our exit strategy because we have to leave no part of his body behind. We incapacitate him. You guys get back
Launch
onto
him
the
into the
ship.
Phlogiston and
Light
fire
on
away.
Okay.
I'm all for sneaking and beating.
Let us
Sneak
sneak.
beating.
Todd drops a huge vape cloud and we all
Get attention!
I'm beating in secret.
So...
They call it pocket pool in outer space.
Right under your nose.
What can I tell why kids like the taste of cinnamon?
We gonna sneak?
Sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky sneak.
I'm gonna roll to sneak.
Put my glasses up so I can't see you. Paul was disgusted with that joke.
Paul's pretty much disgusted with everyone.
Oh,
right now.
we've earned it.
So
All right.
we're gonna-
So you cast Pass Without Trace. So what this does is it makes it so that basic sensory input cannot detect you. Sound and hearing and sound. Thanks, Ben.
Sound
Hearing
and vision.
and vision.
Yes.
Thank you. Other senses work, and other mechanics of finding you work. So that is an important note. But yes, you cast your spell. Go ahead and spend your spell slot. And the party must make a stealth check. Are you entering through the front or through the back?
Well, if we're sneaking, it's the back, right?
This is the
It's
back.
always the back door when we're
Yeah.
sneaking.
That's more heavily defended, though.
It is.
Oh no, the
Good.
front. The
Yeah.
front is less
So the
than
back
five.
is defended with static defenses. It's got like laser portcullises and stuff like that. The front has access via a central elevator.
Oh, I don't like the elevators. Feel bad though. Todd's claustrophobic, but Todd also doesn't like a laser.
We're going into a prison. Claustrophobia is part of the job.
Todd's not the strategist. He just drops the giant vape cloud that we're all scared
Todd is basically the dude, right?
by. A little bit the dude, a little bit someone who went to a liberal arts college and like double majored in feminist literature and
The dude,
environmentalism.
but from Hampshire.
Yes,
Dude, Hampshire.
the Hampshire dude.
The
Thank
damn
you.
sure.
The hamster.
The
Yes.
hamster, the space hamster.
um,
What's the plan, amigos?
I like both sides. Both sides appeal to me.
What is the
You
plan,
go
sir?
both ways.
I do.
If we go in the back door, we're going to be sneaky. We're going to be in a fight. And that kind of eliminates the sneak. Why don't we go in the front door and we'll just sneak in when they're all milling about?
Frenchie got it.
Hold on.
Oh.
I have a spell that kills all the guards.
Somebody's got a plan other than I punch guys.
Yo, magic tight pants friend, what's going on there? Tell me how
So
you
these
wanna
are two
show.
different.
The entryway is actually elevators. They're guarded elevators. They go up and down from the entry level into the first floor.
But are there multiple elevators?
Yes.
Are each of these, is it each one of these an elevator?
The 3 in the middle are all actually elevators. The other ones look like they might be operational, but they're like service elevators or like laundry supplies and stuff like that.
Okay.
Not used for anything of value. To the point where like the doors don't open and close after 30 minutes of observation.
Like a dumbwaiter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be called from a higher floor.
Okay.
I can use mislead, but it's a 5th level spell slot, and I need someone to like hold my hand while I'm looking through that.
I mean, my hands are going to be busy. Well, with the
With the
Chop,
with the
chop.
punching and the.
Those are punches, not chops.
cha.
With
So,
your dukes!
Unless my unless my concentration is disrupted, the like sort of shroud stays around us. So I feasibly could hold your hand
Mm-hmm.
and just cast that spell while you cast mislead.
I think we just go with her spell and
Yeah.
save your 5th level slot for in case we're in deep doo.
Yeah,
or a
this
dimension
is
door to get out in a hurry.
Yeah.
Or
this is a
if we
second
needed
level
to
spell,
escape.
and I've got 3 of those, but I also have like many other spell slots in other levels.
Okay. I was just thinking, like, creating a double to, like, make a scene at one end of the ship and send all of the guards that way.
Mm-hmm.
Something I forgot to include in the flavor text earlier, but it's something that is very relevant. One of you is carrying some sort of communications transponder with Dr. Jambor
Oh.
From the future?
from the future.
Yo, a stone of super far speech.
Yes.
we can talk through time.
Yes. Here and there, it's intermittent. It's like a shitty radio.
Isn't there a movie about that, like The Lake House, where they write each other letters through time?
I wouldn't know.
But who is bold enough to carry this speaking device? Or does nobody carry anything with Kara?
Oh, no.
No. God, no. I'll carry it.
You're only carrying it. Okay. Karok is like, I'll man the wheel, yeah? Yeah.
Or getaway
Best
driver.
pilot that ever lived.
You're our getaway driver.
Karak's our
Yeah.
getaway driver, man. Just, stay sober at the wheel if we could.
Keep the one remaining engine warm.
It's, he looks back just to make sure it's not on fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. It sounds like we're almost ready to get started. Front or back? Party vote?
Front is
Front,
the elevators, right?
front.
Yes.
Everyone's in front?
Front.
Elevators.
Alright. And how are you going to get in this elevator? Just going to wait for somebody else to get in it and board, or what's the idea?
How big are they? Like, are they big enough where if 4 of us got in with one
They
person,
are,
they wouldn't be like, what's this odd thing?
They're
we can't see?"
cylindrical elevators, and they are about 10 feet wide.
No, that's pretty big.
Like, if we all press ourselves up against the wall and, like, actively try not to hit anybody else who comes in.
Yeah, we can see me on something like
Yeah.
that. With pastel trays.
No complaints about that plan?
Sounds good to
Stealth
me.
rolls from all y'all.
Oh, that is a 8.
That is
Oh, Todd.
15.
22.
22.
Wow.
Henri with the stealth. Not something I would have picked you as being good at. Oh, you're a rogue though, aren't you?
Roguey, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Part rogue.
Keep thinking fighter.
I think Henri should basically just be the class of Three Musketeers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a
It's
musketeer.
kind of what it's. Yeah, it's kind of what he is.
Yeah, it fits. It's also badass as fuck. I want to play Three Musketeers. Alright, so you get on board the elevator. Todd, maybe you're just a little nervous when you bump into a couple folks here and there. And as the
There's you grope, guys.
As the group succeeds in the check, the elevator lifts up to the first floor, stops, dings, the doors separate, people start milling about into the front lobby area. You can see at the top of these stairs icons on this side. All those little hourglass icons are sealed security doors.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're stuck in a hallway.
Oh,
right now.
these.
Okay.
So we have to wait for somebody to go through one of those doors and sneak in behind us.
And
For
from
duty.
what Dr. Jambor said, coordinates have put him here.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I think I should go first, no? So I can spot what's happening up ahead.
Yeah.
Can I take a good solid look at these doors? Figure out how they open?
Yes, they appear to be steel doors, and they slide. They separate from the middle, and they slide out like pocket doors.
Okay. Are they locked, or is there...
They are guarded by individuals, and you can see that there is a
Shows the
ray
buttons.
of red light that is constantly beaming back and forth. The armed individuals, by the way, are GIF. They're large hippo mans. They're wearing sort of tight-fitting military garb and covered in like way too many medals, like over the top. It looks ridiculous. They have like the full bar on both shoulders, and like the row with 4 rows. They look like Korean military commanders, with like the ridiculous array of medals for not doing anything of value. And they're just completely, and like some of them have like the golden rope epaulets and like everything else. Some of them are wearing like Green Beret style, like the beret with the medal that's tilted off kilter. Some of them even have like hanging straps of leather with notches in them on the back of their guns. And they are carrying guns. They are carrying what looks like what we in the real world would know of as like muskets. Some of them have flintlock pistols. You see that one of them has a belt covered in frag grenades.
Oh, jeez.
Let's get that guy first.
And the armed guards when this kid was a baby were worse than this.
Yes.
Well, glad we didn't go back that far.
Yeah.
He was very
My
clear on
dudes.
that.
Maybe your little distraction's not a bad idea.
Well, I can do something that's a little bit easier. I can cast dancing lights in the form of a medium-sized humanoid.
Oh, cool.
So
So,
Where are
real
we?
quick, on that spell card,
Mhm.
it's going to tell you what the components are, whether they are verbal, somatic, or material. VS or M. What do you got in there?
all of them. Oh shit!
You will have to say magic
I will
words
have
out
to say
loud.
magic words out
Do
loud.
something with your hands and also consume a piece of material.
But they can't hear us because we have pass without trace.
That is all true. If whatever she consumes is consumed by smoldering or smoking,
Phosphorus, witchwood, or glowworm. So.
sounds like smoldering. It's small. It might be hidden. I would allow you a sleight of hand check to not be spotted.
Let's see what else. I have too many spells.
Fuck this spell. This spell's stupid fucking bullshit.
Fuck this, fuck this, fuck this.
Let's see. I might use this in a minute. Let me just go ahead and put this down. Okay.
I mean, I could just go up there and beat the shit out of them.
It's always an option.
How many of them are there in this area?
You can see 4 from your current vantage point.
I think we could take 4.
They have 2 in front of the central doors.
I'm
and
sure they have friends, no? You do not have to be so rude.
There's 2 in front of the central door, 1 in front of both of the side doors. You haven't gone down the corridor to check in front of the consoles yet.
Darkness would be real good right here.
I will cast it immediately.
Oh, wait.
I am not a magician. I cannot do such things.
What you got?
I do still have Dimension Door.
I really want to keep that in the back pocket
That's
though,
our
for an
escape.
escape plan.
Yeah.
I say we just fuck these motherfuckers up, or you try your trick with the.
And then we fuck them up
And
when I
if
inevitably fail.
they spot the spell being cast, and then we fuck up. We're gonna have to fuck somebody up somewhere.
Okay,
Because
alright.
you brought me.
I can turn into a bear.
Fascinating.
Where are we?
Todd went to camp. He's seen a bear.
Where are we? On this?
You are basically the bottom of the stairs.
Which? There's
1.
3.
We're at 1.
We're at 1?
Yep. Getting the feeling I might need to zoom this in.
Yeah, just.
Those might be 10-foot squares, or are they?
Are they 10 or 5 foot squares?
These are 5 foot
Oh,
squares.
too much.
It's coming right at us.
Too
my
far,
God.
too far!
This
Control
boat is huge.
I'm getting sucked into the game. It's
That was my
Jumanji now.
Wait, little farther out?
Wait, where's my arrow at?
Questionable? Oh, it's here. It's on the scroll bar. There it is.
There it is.
Boop.
Oh, it's way too low. I can't see a fucking
It's
thing
right here.
over
A
my
little bit
own
good.
net.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright. So I can create up to 4 torch-sized lights within range. So this is 6.
Well, these are our hippo boys.
Ken Giffey Jr.
So down here is 60 feet each direction.
Yep.
I hold my hand behind my back.
Yep.
And I cast dancing lights in the shape of 2 human forms, one at this corridor and one at the far end that we can't quite see because we're zoomed in.
Give me a sleight of hand check. Their perception checks aren't good, but they have a chance.
Oh, that's a 16.
There's this puff of smoke. The smell of sulfur as you issue forth the spell, and you see your forms spring into life on the outer corridors. The GIF draw the weapons, pull up the muskets at point blank, point them at these glowing forms, and this red light actually tilts and turns towards them, and you can see the red light emerge through the opposite side of your dancing light ghosts. And they put their guns back down at ease.
We're not fooled, huh? Where's this red light coming from? What's...
Appears to be like a notch cut out in the ceiling.
I think we're down to our backup plan.
What was our backup plan?
We beat the shit out of these guys.
until the laser beam spots us, I guess. We must move quickly.
Laser beam hasn't done anything yet.
So you can tell real people from fake people.
I don't like lasers. Better guess lasers no.
Laser beams.
Little known fact about David Bowie, he hated lasers. And he highly
really
focused field
confusing.
light.
Let's see what we got here.
It's like hating cows as a farmer.
I mean, I have. Let me see.
What's the plan, folks?
I have confusion.
You do.
I need 3 nutshells. I need the spell assaults and twists creatures' minds, spawning delusions and provoking uncontrolled action. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw when you cast the spell or be affected by it. An affected target can't take reactions and has to roll a d10.
They make like a dirt check, and they might like
Yeah,
stand around
basically.
dueling or not actually participating.
Yo,
Yeah.
you have confusion. I have dissonant whispers.
Is that concentration then? Which is the same their concentration.
It does.
So
That's
that
the
means
little
to pass without
something.
trace.
Yeah,
of
you
drop.
lose to pass on that trace in order to be better at fighting people.
But it may be alright. That may be a good trade-off.
There's 3 of them.
There's a fourth.
There's a
one
fourth
There's
off
a
the map,
fourth
so I
off
just
the map.
zoomed in pretty far because
Okay.
I wanted to use the squares.
4v3 if one of them is making dirt checks every turn. And one of you, perhaps 2 if there's a whispering.
Well, I was thinking you confuse these two, get them in the state where if I cast dissonant whispers on this guy and he starts like holding in his head and like screaming and freaking out, it freaks them out more.
And they'll go either that way or the other
Yeah.
way.
I'm not gonna need this.
Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, let me...
Wait.
Let me wait. I'm gonna wait.
Oh no.
Because you said let me wait. You said wait, and that made me super nervous.
Jackson's getting very close to springing the trap.
I would like initiative rolls from everyone. That'll help you decide what you're doing.
Yeah.
8.
And that is if... That'd be a 13 then.
13, okay.
I have a 13 as well.
9.
9.
Alright, so
Wait.
12, 18. You've got 24 seconds before
Can-
Jackson's punching somebody.
He is a prisoner. Let us turn our hymnals to the glorious sci-fi Bible of Star Wars.
I like where this is
We're
going.
here to execute the prisoner,
Okay.
or transport the prisoner, or some.
So you have a
Bullshit.
ruse in mind.
Let us sweet talk these guys into.
I got some persuasion despite the fact that
I
I
got-
got -1 in charisma.
I got hella persuasion, and
Fine.
Alright, well, let's start up the initiative order and just go. Henri, you are first to act. What do you got planned?
Oh, do we get a bonus round if we're hidden?
Yes. Currently you are.
So that's our new plan: is to sweet talk these guys and not do any spells or any of that shit.
that is my plan. That is my thought. I don't know how persuasive I was in convincing y'all.
Fuck it, I'm game.
1 on persuasion with the
I
team,
got-
20
I
on
got,
persuasion with the NPCs.
I got the Naruto here behind me. Of that.
You gotta run like this.
Yeah.
What was this dorkwad's name? Chambord?
Dr. Jambor.
Okay.
It's
Is that how he's known
SZ,
here? Is that how
ONE.
he's known in this timeline?
He told you that that's always been his name.
Okay, good.
He's a slave prisoner, though, and these people might not even know his name.
So I'm going to walk right up. I'm going to straighten up my coat and walk right up.
Yeah.
Hello, my friends, my good friends.
Good God, man, what happened to your coat?
I stupid pilot don't know how to fly a ship. Anyway, that does not matter now. We are here to see a prisoner.
Interesting. And what can I say is the cause of your journey?
We have been sent here to deal with a prisoner, if you understand my meaning.
With a passive perception of banging, you can actually see that he does do one of the hands down to keep the guys from drawing guns on you at this point.
Yeah, I'm doing the whole his hands off my swords and all that shit.
Are the three of us...
You address the 2nd Brigadier General Commander Artillery Piece War Machine, Stu. I'll thank you
Choke
to
down
address
my
rank.
snicker. Yes, sir. Mr. Machine?
No,
I'm sorry, I'm not-
Rank,
Rank.
Brigadier General.
Hey,
Machine.
Brigadier General, my apologies, sir. I am a civilian. I do not understand rank, so my apologies. Brigadier General, yes, we are here to see the prisoner known as Chambord.
Blink.
What?
He looks you up and down and he says, interesting. Under whose orders?
His!
And I do the very sort of David Bowie.
So you say his. David Bowie compares to do something. Todd, you're actually next to act.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I can't hear you.
This is not on fire yet.
Oh yeah, hey, so hey guys, how's it going? This here's my buddy Henri. We're real close, and it's me, the guy with lots of plans and inspiration, and anyways, and Todd
A very privileged young man.
yeah, Todd reaches into his back pocket and pulls out this 14 timed fold piece of parchment, some kid who's turning his homework in. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm here on behalf of my dad. You know, that admiral guy." And I hand him my scroll of pedigree.
Okay.
Because Todd is the son of an Elven Navy officer.
Okay.
And so Todd's, using his privileged background to try to work his way around these guards.
All right.
We broke the DM!
Now I'm debating how many levels of disadvantage this has. All it really
Because
matters
Todd's gross, but Todd's not the cream of the crop of the family, but he does have this thing in his back pocket.
I think rather than eliminating the disadvantage for that check, it makes more sense to just say that allows you to make the check at all.
Okay.
It's hard for them to believe that you are the offspring of an elven military person, particularly on a prison ship, to talk to a mind flayer.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very great stretch of their willful disbelief.
Can I assist?
No, I'm going to call for separate skill checks in this one.
Okay.
So I'm going to look for a persuasion. No, this is deception, straight up.
Oh, fuck.
Deception check with disadvantage.
Okay, well, there's a 1, which is that's a 15.
All right, first
And
one pretty
then
good.
that one is a 13.
That's pretty good. Not successful, but they haven't shot you yet.
Okay.
That's a win in my book.
Yeah.
Rebel sent.
I
Crux of our plan.
do all the fancy, whatever. Brigadier General, I know he does not look it. He's rather unique, but I've known this young man, and he is who he says he is. unfortunately. I am Bravo Set. You've not heard of me, but perhaps you've heard the beautiful things that I make.
Are you reaching for performance or are you settling for persuasion?
I'm gonna settle for persuasion. And sort of bank on my storied history.
How storied is it?
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
It's a 13.
You see a couple of these gift soldiers that are like slowly going down their body to their sidearms. This is not the I'm going to shoot you on sight, more that I'm planning to arrest you kind of maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Dukes.
I'm gonna kick somebody in the face.
Oh shit.
Hold the pan on the monk. Alright.
Jackson doesn't feel like being arrested in this particular slave ship.
Alright.
We could have gotten.
Spells! Take a look at my spells!
So which one of these guys is moving into that tactical position?
Place your minis on the board somewhere nearby the two gift soldiers of.
So I went right up to talk to one of them.
Yeah, we're all sort of. Probably you're here. Oh shit! Fucked up that guy. Fucked up you too.
Todd's falling over.
Fuck you, fuck you.
Brian,
Can
where
you put me someplace?
where do you want to be?
Anywhere. With the group.
Adjacent to something. I mean, adjacent actually. Let me do this.
Yeah.
No, but don't put him in that. Yeah, put him up there. Oh, I'm on the front line with me. Fuck that. He ain't hiding behind some stairwell.
Jackson Dukes.
Yes.
Do what you must.
Yeah, I must bust this guy in the face.
You must bust his nuts.
Because busting makes me feel good. Alright, so I take the attack action, which means I attack twice, which also means I get a bonus action of martial arts.
Yes.
So, first attack and martial arts. Those are both going to hit. I'm
Probably
guessing.
so. AC 16.
Yes, then those are both going to hit. 2d8 plus 5. 6 plus 10. 16 points of damage.
Got it?
Attack again. What was the AC you said?
16.
That is a 17. That hits.
Will hit.
For another 9 points of damage.
Got it.
I don't spend any key because I'm saving it.
Believe it or not, you are now spotted.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Alright. Jackson Dukes has broken your ruse. They're quite surprised. They're not going to activate on this initiative. However, a different initiative, somebody does act.
Darth Vader.
Who the higgity heck is that?
At this moment, you hear an explosion come from the opposite side of the ship.
That's not us.
That, like this one?
Somewhere over there, where Brian's sitting.
It's
Brian!
Sorry you farted.
I've got my monkey attacking on one end. I'm beating the ship on the other end. We're gonna Eiffel Tower this bitch.
Henri.
I will attack the other one. So this is one you're on. I'll attack this guy.
Henri, you also have the bang and passive perception, right?
Yeah.
You see that at either end, there's like a stockpile of things left behind by the prisoners, like weapons and gear and stuff. And there's a gigantic pile of like armored refuse in the corners on both sides.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. So let me attack one of these. Do 5.
Are you working on the one that Jackson has already thrown the shit out of?
I'm gonna work on the other
You
one.
gonna start on a new man?
Yeah, I'm gonna start it on the other guy.
Cracking open a fresh guy.
Yeah.
Snap it to a slim gift.
Just let me do a sniff kiss.
It smells like hippo farts.
What's happening?